The number of estimates or proposals that go out through the door, these are the number of bullets in the chamber, the number of the shots that you have in order to accomplish that goal of generating enough revenue.
I can see the whole wide world with these two eyes, and I can be whoever I want to be, 'cause it's my life.
Hi, thanks for joining us for another episode of Ask Spurrell CPA. Today we are talking about estimates and proposals are not on financial statements. I have Trevor here with me again.
Hi there.
Trevor, you're looking forward to the business conference, the boot camp coming up on May 4th here?
Yeah, very excited for that. That's going to be great. Got a lot of great speakers who are coming, and we are looking at possibly a packed house.
Yeah.
So it's really exciting.
Get there early.
Yeah.
For sure. The quote that we have here today, we're talking about estimates and proposals not being on your financial statements. It's a Jim Collins quote, author of 6 business books, including one of my favorites, Good to Great. And it says, the good to great companies did not focus principally on what to do to become great. They focused equally on what not to do and what to stop doing entirely. The statistic is, Industry Canada statistic, 50% of all Canadian business go out of business within the first 5 years, and 42% of these businesses go out of business because they fail to attract enough customers.
Yeah.
And the story that we have here are business owners. They have low revenue, but they're not tracking one of the most important components to generating revenue. So Trevor, what are the questions that these business owners should be asking?
What are KPIs, and do they normally show up on financial statements?
So KPIs are the acronym for Key Performance Indicator. And normally KPIs is the information that you should be counting, the numbers that you should know about your business that do not appear on the financial statements. I view the financial statement ratio analysis, anything that you could do there is part of the ratio analysis, but the key performance indicators are numbers that are hard numbers. They're black and white, trackable numbers that you can count, and you should be counting, but they don't appear on the financial statements.
Okay. So why is the number of estimates or proposals you give important?
So we talk about, the most common reason for businesses going out of business is not being able to attract enough customers. But the number of estimates or proposals that go out through the door, these are the number of bullets in the chamber, the number of the shots that you have in order to accomplish that goal of generating enough revenue. So this will tell you, is it we're not getting enough shots, or no one likes the proposals to begin with. These are some of the numbers that we need to track. We need to know, it can help us break down if we're having a revenue problem. Is it that we're not getting enough at-bats, or people don't like what's being put in front of them?
Right. So is the value of estimates or proposals you give important?
Yeah, so not just the number of estimates that are going out the door, but are these really small proposals going out the door? Or are these big monster proposals going out through the door? Sometimes they can have different sales cycles too. The smaller proposals can turn over rather quickly. In most businesses, where if it's a big proposal, usually there's more decision makers involved and more moving parts involved. It can take a little longer in that sort of sales cycle. And it can also just tell us what's the potential work that we're missing out on if we're not acquiring some of these contracts. Did we lose out on $10 $100 contracts? Did we lose out on $10 $100,000 contracts? These are so it's the number of estimates going out the door, and the value of these estimates going out the door is equally important in determining revenue and our potential for revenue.
Okay, so do the number of value estimates and proposals show on financial statements?
They won't be anywhere. So if you're looking at your financial statements, it's never going to show how many estimates or proposals we gave or what the value of the estimates and proposals we gave. The only thing that's going to appear is the revenue, the amount of the completed contracts that you actually did. So it's kind of more backwards looking, and it's what I would refer to as a trailing indicator, whereas the number of estimates going out the door and the value of these estimates is more of a leading indicator of what you can expect in the future.
Okay, so is it more effective to present an estimate or proposal in writing?
100%. It is way more effective to present in writing. We're taught from a very early age to believe what's written,
Right.
not what people say. Regardless of what someone is saying is the truth or complete garbage. We're just taught to believe what's put down in writing. So you're more likely to be taken seriously if the proposal is in writing. People are just it's ingrained into our psyche to believe what's written down. B, it's a little more easy to walk someone through a written document. It's going to help you keep your thoughts organized if you have to present it to the potential purchaser as well.
That makes sense. So, will clients that appear hesitant often accept a written proposal later on?
Yeah. So I've learned that you try to gauge clients in meetings and you give them a proposal or an estimate, and they appear hesitant. They're a good fit. They seem like a good client. But they just appear really hesitant. Some
Right.
people are really gung-ho and they can't wait to sign the paper because you're just going to solve the problem that they have. But some people they're not. But if you give them that written proposal, they'll accept it later on. They just want to think about it and they want to analyze it on their own terms. But if it's not put down in writing, they're never going to have the opportunity to do so.
Right. So, how can you use digital signature programs to make the process easier?
Yeah, so if you give a proposal to a client and if they don't accept it there, you want to make it as easy as possible for them. Right. So rather than say I'm going to call you later, you just actually send it through a digital signature program. They don't have to print it out and sign it and scan it and send it back. They can just do it. It's one and done. You can track it.
Right.
They know exactly what's expected to proceed. It just makes the whole process easier and quicker. And you want to make it as easy as possible for your clients to do business with you. So use the digital signature programs that are out there. Adobe Document Sign is the one that we use. There's a lot of other good ones. But if you're giving any sort of written proposal and there's an opportunity for the client to accept it at a later time, you should be using a digital signature program.
So now, should you be booking more than 50% of your estimates or proposals?
So generally, if you are booking more than 50%, I get business owners, they come in all the time and they say, Josh, I'm booking 80% of my contracts. And they're generally a very small contractor who's doing this. And they're very proud of this fact. And then I have to break the news to them that said, you are only booking more than 50%. Because you are half the price of the industry rate. And the minute you start hiring people to do this work, you're going to be losing your shirt at this price.
Yeah.
If you're not losing your shirt already, which is yourself doing the work. So in most businesses, if you are booking more than 50% of your proposals, unless you're in the dream business, in the dream industry where there's just a sheer shortage and there's no one else who can do that work, if you are booking more than 50%, you're probably not charging enough, and it's not going to be economically viable over the long term.
Gotcha. So how will the rule of 3 normally work for leads, estimates, and sales?
So it's a good way, and this rule will hold up against a lot of different industries. We've done medical industries where they're giving high level dental treatments, or if it's a plumber giving an estimate. So the rule of 3 is if you have 3 leads that come through the door, you're going to, from those 3 leads, you're going to get one estimate. Okay. Now you're not going to book every one estimate, so you're going to need more than 3 leads to get one job. So let's take it from 9, and you have 9 leads come through the door. Those 9 leads relate to 3 estimates, actual proposals where the person showed up and they didn't cancel, and you got to walk through what services you're going to provide, and then from those 3 estimates or proposals, you're going to get one job. So it starts to translate through into 9 leads, 3 estimates or proposals, 1 job. So you need the phone to ring 9 times to get the 1 job.
Yeah, that makes sense. So can you track estimates in modern accounting software like QuickBooks Online?
Yeah, so a lot of the modern accounting software, they're going to have the ability to actually provide that estimate for the client, and it provides just a nice, organized, professional-looking template. Also, it's trackable. It's very easy to pull the data and the analytics from that. So even though it's not going to show up on your profit and loss sheet or your balance statement, those estimates are in your accounting program, and you can run the analytics on them. You know, how many estimates did we give in this time period? How many estimates did we give on that time period? And it's a nice professional looking document that you're probably paying for the software already. It's also web-based, so it makes it very easy to send the estimate or proposal to the client. You know, that can be one of the advantages as well.
Nice. So does preparing the estimate in QuickBooks make preparing the invoice easier?
It does, yeah. So a lot of the way QuickBooks Online does it is you can actually take that estimate and use that estimate to then populate the invoice. So rather than write out the estimate and then again write out the invoice, you know, we can imagine a scenario where we assemble an estimate based on drop-down items in our QuickBooks accounting software. So we've assembled the estimate way quicker than if we had to write it out the first time. We got a nice template with the company name and the address and the GST number and everything we need on it, and then we use that to automatically populate the invoice with everything they need and the you know, where to send the check or the payment to, you know, the payment terms, the amounts and the subtotals. So it makes assembling the invoice that much easier as well.
Yeah, so it really takes a multi-step process, puts it into one place, makes it simple for you to provide the estimate, create the invoice, and get everything done in a quick, easy, efficient manner. And that saves time for a business owner, especially if you are a sole proprietor. I think that is great business sense in order to simplify your life.
100%. Yeah. So I think that's what we have here today regarding estimates and proposals. Thanks so much for tuning in. As always, if you have any comments, we'd love to see them below so we can address them, as well as you know, use them for future videos. And as always, please hit the like and subscribe button so we can continue to deliver you information on how to beat the odds at business. Thanks very much.